and today I want to talk about some of the new things that are coming to the Forerunner server. And I think that, yesterday we got a whole bunch of news about the Boreas nerf. Everybody is up in arms about it. Well, on one side or the other, whether you think it's completely justified and it needed to happen, or whether you think it's unfair because you invested a bunch of resources into Boreas and now they're going to make him worse. Personally, I have used Boreas to finish in Apex Overlord several times over the last month or so. He's been really great for me. I can also recognize the fact that he is kind of overpowered. I mean, especially in Arena, and I think that that's what's driving this change, is that they did not want to, I guess, kind of have one hero sitting on top of the meta in their competitive game mode. So it is what it is. I think kind of to reinforce that, he was really powerful in Guild Wars as well. So I think that may be what's driving the change there. But this is not about the Boreas change. That has been discussed ad nauseum. What I do want to talk about is this, and there's some really cool things coming that we haven't really talked about. So there are some new gear. There's a new gear raid that's coming out. I made a video about that should be posted at the same time as this. So definitely go check that out if you want some more details. There's going to be some new sets in there, and also a new mechanic that seems like it's going to allow us to kind of target the gear set that we want. I hope. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly. I'll have more details on that once they do post this information tomorrow. So, or excuse me, not when they post the information, when they provide the patch to the Forerunner server, I'll be able to log in and see what all that looks like, and I'll certainly go and make a video and show you guys that. But let's get past all of the Boreas jazz, because we've all seen that. So this is the other thing I want to talk about, Arena. So they are doing some really, really cool things, some quality of life things that we've asked for quite a long time, and I do think it's going to improve your experience in Arena, namely the ability to set your own defense rather than having it take your last battle and use that as an auto run. So that was an incredibly flawed way to go about it. It produced a lot of negative results and made it really hard to put together a compelling Arena defense. I know there were times when I would take on a more challenging team that I knew I wasn't going to win against, and I would just do that run because I knew that I would be able to go all the way to the end and have a full setup so that when somebody did attack me, I wouldn't be reliant on the AI in the game placing my heroes and using their ultimates or not using their ultimates, as the case may be. So let's read through these real quick. So Arena. Commanders now can build their defense teams in the arena via Arena Defense Team. Awesome. This is amazing. And it was so needed. So I am so excited that this is coming to the game. This is a change that definitely needed to be implemented, and I hope that they don't wait too long to push this to live servers. I wasn't excited about the Boreas nerf. Now that I've looked at all these other things, go ahead and nerf Boreas. I want all this stuff now. That's my perspective. Boreas is going to get nerfed regardless. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and let's get it done, and let's get some of these juicy gifts that they're giving us as well. So Commanders can now build their defense team for anti-air DPS challenge, AoE DPS challenge, and single target DPS challenge in training stages. You can challenge these stages as many times as you want for practice and update the battle record when you finish. So what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to go in there and you're going to be able to do basically a solo run of the arena to set up your defense. Now, the question I have is, how is this going to account for timings? Because the arena rounds are not going to move. You're not going to move on to the next wave until your opponent clears their wave, right? So are the timings going to be isolated to the individual waves? So if I do something in wave 1 and then my opponent takes 2 minutes to clear it, like they end up with like 1% health left, and then we move on to wave 2, all that time that I'm waiting, that's presumably longer than when I did my auto battle, is it going to basically is it going to continue into the presets in round 2 while I'm still waiting in round 1? Is it going to pop ultimates that can be popped at that point? I would hope not, but I'm not all that hopeful. I think the way that they have Arena set up, it makes building a defense very challenging, and I don't mean that it is challenging for the player, but I mean that more from a development standpoint. I don't know exactly how they're going to account for that. I think that the best way to do it would be to have isolated timings for each individual wave. That's really the only way that's going to work out. But then you have the problem where, what if an ultimate isn't back up because the opponent cleared the wave too slow or too fast, or whatever. What happens if you're facing a a higher difficulty opponent? I guess you won't, because the way it works right now is that you've got the level of the enemies is based on the defense. So you should be able to, your defense team should always be at the same battle power as you are, right? So I guess that should be okay. Still, it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. I'm not super confident that they're going to do it right, but we'll see. And then finally, the third one on here, commanders can now choose to update their auto fight offense teams and defense teams while engaging in attacks or defenses. I don't understand how that works. I guess, are they going to give us profiles or something like that we can set up? So we've got different, I have like 3 different anti-air DPS teams that I could pick from or something like that. I don't really understand what that means, but we are going to find out tomorrow. Anyway, I think this is awesome. We needed a shake-up to the way that they set up defenses. Hopefully this is just the first draft, and we'll see how it goes. And hopefully they are willing to iterate with us, and this isn't something that gets pushed to the global server before it is ready and before it makes sense. But we will just have to wait and see. So anyway, guys, that is the video. That is what I wanted to show you today. If you did enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to put out more in the future, and I hope that you tune in for that. So thanks all. Have a great day.